Alright, gang, what's going on? Good afternoon. I hope you're enjoying your weekend. How about last week? A little bit of a wild ride, huh? But hopefully this week's a little bit better for us. We do got a little bit more long plays than we do short, so I'd like to see the market rebound here tomorrow, um, and get us back on track. So, got a couple of plays here for you. First one that I'm looking at is going to be the Canadian dollar future. So that's /6C. Now what I'm looking to do here is more of a kind of a bounce play, contrarian style. As you can see, it made those highs and consolidated here, and then just started dying down. Okay, and now we're coming up to the 200-day, which we haven't broke to the downside at all in quite a while here. Okay, so what I'm looking at is I want to see it bounce. So I'm going to be watching this one, and whoops, I want to see it test it, but then bounce off and start heading up. So I want to play this to the upside with a short put as long as it holds. As long as it bounces off this and starts to trend back up, I'm going to look to do that. If it breaks a 200-day, no play. So what I want to do here, okay, we got decent IVR. I'm going to go out to September 3rd, which is 47 days out. Okay. And I want to sell the 0.77 put naked. Okay. I want to try to get at least 200 bucks. So that's going to be a 0.002 or better in credit. And it's only going to cost about $700 to put on. And going to give a very high 87% probability. Now, for those that need to define things, I'd be looking at just buying those 7.5s right behind it. That'll give you, hopefully maybe at least $1.50 here, so 0.0015, and then reduce your buying power down to 480 and give you a max loss, but keeping you with a super high probability at 86%. Okay. So the next one that I'm looking at is CHWY. You can see here, CHWY, same thing. We're just kind of consolidating. We did break the 200-day, but we've broken it, then we broke it again, and now we're back below. So we're still in this, sideways trend. Upward momentum died off. We're now heading sideways. So I'm looking to cover support and resistance here and just do a strangle. So CHWY, while it does have low IVR, it does still have decent implied volatility. So going into August here, I want to go ahead and sell that 65 put and sell that 90 call. I would like to get at least $1.50 to $1.55 in credit, and it's only going to cost $770 to put on and give a 78 pop. So really good play here. Would not define this one. You would have to bring your put or your call short all the way to a 25 delta, and I don't like doing that for an Iron Condor. Okay, so strangle only. Next one I'm looking at is Deer. That's DE. And with Deer, I want to do an Iron Condor. This one pretty much made those highs right after consolidating. So we made a high, consolidated, tiny high here. And we downtrended. We hit some support, and now we're just sideways again. So I'm going to cover this current channel. Upward momentum slowed down. We have some resistance here at about 322, 323, and then that 200-day. Okay. And I meant support. Resistance is up here at 369-ish. So I want Iron Condor this one, and it's going to be a 10 wide. So we're looking in August still. And on the puts, I want to sell the 320s, buy those 310s, and then on the call side, sell the 370s and buy those 380s. I would like to get at least 275 to 280 in credit, and then that would give us over 60 pops. So not bad for an Iron Condor. Okay. Next one that I'm looking at, Docusign. So Docusign had a heck of a run up and making those highs here. We pulled back. We are squeezing now. So what I want to do on this one is I want to watch it. I would like to see it open above this 8 EMA, get this squeeze to take off and go and retest these highs. I want to have support down here at 270. That's where I want my short strike as well. So I'm looking at selling the 270 puts, buying those 260s, also in the August expiration. I would like to get, 280, 290 in credit, and that's going to give a 66 pop. So perfect odds for the vertical spreads. All right. Next one, going to be EWZ, right? This is the Brazil ETF. I want to strangle this one. We've, every time we run up, we consolidate. This time it kind of fell and consolidated and then trended up. We're consolidating again. So we came down, we're starting to go sideways, yellow bars, a lot of neutral action. So I want to go ahead and just strangle this one. Give us some wiggle room up past the current highs, and then also put us right down at the 200-day for some support. Okay. So on this one, EWZ August, I want to sell that 35 put. I want to sell that 44 call. It's going to lean it a little long, which is good because we're right at that 50-day and it has been trending up. It's going to give an 80 pop. I would like to get 50 cents. Okay. Especially because I got to go 2 contracts and it's going to put that buying power a little bit higher than normal. All right. But as you can see, past expected move too as well. So really good play here. Next one I'm looking at is going to be Gap. I'm sorry, not Gap. That's not on the list. UVXY. All right. So UVXY is the downward play that I want to play here. And UVXY, it's the VIX short ETF, and downtrend, right? Downtrend, downtrend, downtrend. Every time the market goes up, down though, you know, we'll see a little bit of a pop, you know, a little bit of a pop, a little bit of a pop. And then this week here, we have a little bit of a pop, but for the most part, we hold that 21. And very rarely do we break that 50 moving average. So what I want to do here, and the only way to get short delta is I got to take it a little less credit than normal, especially since the call side has not a lot of credit to begin with anyways. So I'm looking at selling a call spread above the 50 moving average, especially if market turns around tomorrow and starts to head back up. UVXY is going to trend, and I'm going to look for it to break these lows down here. Okay, so right now we're right at that 21. So what I want to do, I want to come into August, I want to sell the 40, and I want to buy the 45 calls. Okay, 50 cents. Yes, it sucks. It's not the greatest credit, but I'm going to do two contracts, risk 900 bucks to make one. I know it's again, it's a little high. Really good odds though, 83 pop. I just don't want to get any lower. I know 36 is roughly the 50 moving average, but I want to get a little bit of wiggle room in case it does bounce. Okay, and maybe break it a little bit. So I'm looking at selling the 40, buy those 45s. All right. And then that's it, you guys. That's all I got for you. Nice little watch list. Have a great rest of your evening, and I will hopefully maybe see you one day in chat. Take care, everybody.